Good morning, everyone. My name is MightyStream. Today is May the 21st, and I'm here today brought to you by Hope Through Navigation. This is our Hood Recovery Services, and I am going to do the Just for Today in a meditation with you. You can reach me at recoveryofhope21@gmail.com. Again, that's recoveryofhope21@gmail.com. Well, how have you been? I hope that you're doing good. I'm hanging in there. We got a lot of things going on with the family. My mother-in-law is, phew, she is transitioning. And so it's been very emotional. It's been very emotional to watch someone that you love transition. And so I will accept your prayers, and I hope that you guys will enjoy this coverage today. All right, let's get to it. Today is the 21st of May, and hopefully you can see that. May 21st, keep coming back. Meetings keep us in touch with where we've been, but more importantly, with where we could go in our recovery. Basic text, page 56. In many ways, addicts are different. When we came to Narcotics Anonymous, we found others like ourselves, people who understood us and whom we could understand. No longer did we feel like aliens, strangers, wherever we went. We were at home in NA meetings among friends. We don't stop being addicts after we've been clean a while. We still need to identify with other addicts. We continue coming to NA meetings to keep in touch with who we are, where we've come from, and where we're going. Every meeting reminds us that we can never use drugs successfully. Every meeting reminds us that will never be cured, but that by practicing the principles of the program, we can recover. And every meeting offers us the experience and example of other addicts in ongoing recovery. At meetings, we see how different people work their program, and the results are apparent in their lives. If we want the lives we see others living, we can find out what they've done to get where they are. Narcotics Anonymous meetings offer us identification with where we've been and where we can go. Identification we can't do without and can't get anywhere else. That keeps us coming back. Just for today, I will attend an NA meeting to remind myself of who I am and where I've come from and where I can go in my recovery. That's a really good reading. I had this feeling yesterday that I needed to get into a meeting. I was just in a space. I was just in a space, quite truthfully, that wasn't on shaky ground with far as using or anything like that, but emotionally, right? I was being swept away with my emotions, and it was getting increasingly more difficult to have the conversations with my family down south, to be on video, watching my dear mother-in-law transition, and I was just getting swept away. And it's been 2 heavy days of emotions because we are right there. I mean, we are right there where she is going to transition here shortly. And I was like, girl, you need to get in a meeting. And I had a couple of options. I had some in-person meetings that would have been options. And not that the in-person meeting would not have borne any fruit. I'm not saying that, but something said, do what you've always done. Jump on the international virtual NA meeting, and you sit in that meeting respectfully, listening to other people share. And just as you're about to move on to the next thing, like just about at the time when I'm done, raised my hand. And then that's a process because there's other people whose hands are already raised, and you wait until your turn. And then when your turn comes, acknowledge you don't have much longer to be in the meeting, but you wanted to get into the meeting and be counted for, right? And that's a level of accountability that I didn't see myself coming yesterday. I mean, I was enwrote, meaning that it just, I knew where I was emotionally, and I knew that I needed to do something in order to solidify and to firm up my foundation of recovery. Because these days have been rough, but certainly the worst ones have not come yet. Right? Oh, we might be relieved that she's no longer suffering, but believe you me, there's going to be this ripple effect of emotions on the whole family. Everyone that she touched felt loved. Everyone that she touched felt special, right? And so I know that, the emotions are going to be picking up, and it kicked into gear like it was muscle memory. I said, girl, you need to get in the meeting. And when you get in the meeting, you're going to sit and listen a while, and then you will raise your hand, and then you will listen some more to your turn, and then you will throw that waiver out there. I don't have much longer to be in the meeting, but I want it to be accounted for and let you know, yeah, I'm doing good, and this is what's going on. And take your 4 minutes share, and then pass. And that is exactly what I did. That is exactly what I did. And that, I believe, is what recovery, or what I do at 28 years and almost 9 months, right? That is what I see fit to do for my recovery, because I'm always going to need to keep it 100. I'm always going to need to remember, keep that door cracked just a little bit so I can peek back and say, girl, your life has come a long way not using. Your life has come a long way not using. I can't even have just one, right? See, I'm not one of those individuals that, get some clean time or get off paper, or, real cool with a probation officer or parole agent. And I'm not sweating worrying about being dropped for alcohol or marijuana, right? That's not my story. So I can't relate to that. And as I shared yesterday, there's a difference when you have to do something. I mean, you still benefit, right? You still benefit in a sense from having to make meetings, having to get your paper signed. But when you do it because you want to, it's in your spirit to do, there's a whole different bowl of benefits and fruits that come from being present because you choose to. Right? It's just like being a little kid being forced to go to church. You go to church every Sunday. Sometimes for us, we was going on Sunday, we was going on Tuesday or Wednesday, and then we had like a Friday. We were going 3 times a week because we were taught that if you needed to eat food every day, how much more so do you need spiritual food every day? So there was this coming together, right? In the sense of being taught biblically 3 times a week when I was raised, and you couldn't miss. You couldn't miss. And that was pretty hard growing up and going and having your attention span not be that great with adults. And back then they really weren't into, letting your kids sit and look at their little, tablet or what. That wasn't the case, right? If you got a piece of paper with a pencil to draw a couple pictures on, you were doing good. And most of the time you had to be fully attentive, right? So, and then to grow through your teenage years, having to do that. Oh my goodness, going through puberty and as adolescence and being made to feel like you somehow are such a sinner because you're starting to notice boys. Oh my goodness, right? But then becoming an adult, becoming an adult and then deciding that that's what you want to do, that is a different ball of wax altogether. And that's what this is about. This right here, this just for today is about continuing to come back because you choose to do it, because you know you need to do it, because you want to do it, right? Not being forced. And when you keep that mindset that this recovery thing is making my life better, not only is it making my life better, but it makes the lives of other people around me better. Because when I'm better, then my interactions are better. And when my interactions are better, everything is better. Now you look around my house, you can tell when I walk through from one end of the house to the front end of the house, I generally peek into everybody's bedroom and I greet them, right? They can tell by the tone of my voice what kind of mood I'm in. And if my greeting is not as energetic and excitable as it normally is in the morning when I'm greeting them, I cannot even count to 5. Once I get to the kitchen and start my hot water, right? I don't make coffee no more. I use this instant coffee with lemon in it, right? It's the most hilarious thing to be free from having to make a cup of coffee, right? So I boil my water. When I get in there to turn that electric kettle on, I cannot count to 5. I'm telling you the truth. I cannot count to 5 before I hear their feet headed my way. That's if they sense that I'm not in the best of moods. And within seconds, they are right there with me in the kitchen. How you feeling today, Auntie? Right? And they're giving me hugs and trying to be who I've been for them. It's the most wonderful thing. We have a check system with each other within our home, a check and balance of emotions, and it works for us. Do you know every morning before they head out to school, after I've usually done my podcast, when we are in the kitchen, right, just having something warm to drink and talking with each other, and it only takes about 5-10 minutes, we play a game of charades. And we do this almost every morning. They love to do it. They love to try to figure out what I'm doing. I love to figure out what they're trying to tell us, right? And we play this small little game as we're sipping on our tea and sipping on hot water and sipping on hot cocoa and sipping on lemon flavored coffee, right? As we sit there, we're interacting with each other, and we're saying in that moment, hey, I know in a few minutes it's going to get crazy. I know in a few minutes I'm going to be shouting about, are your teeth brushed? Did you do your ears? Did you do this, right? I know in a few minutes it's going to get hectic because we got to get on the bus on time. But let's take this beautiful moment in the morning to encourage one another. So as you go, in my mind, I'm thinking, if I don't ever see you again after this, the moments that we shared were beautiful. I want that. I want to do that, and I do that, right? That's how it is when recovery has changed your life. You're no longer the problem coming, right? You're the blessing headed towards someone. You're the light that people can see when they're in dark spirits, right? So that's what this recovery does. That's why I do keep coming back. I want to challenge you today to look at the thing that you left off from doing that blessed you, that encouraged you. Now, for me, yesterday it was the meeting. So my mind is, I need to do another 90 and 90. I need to do 90 meetings in 90 days. That will push me through the rest of May. That will push me into June, July, and through well into my clean time period, right? Today is May 21st. So my 90 and 90 is starting, let's just say it's starting today. So June, July, August 21st. And my mother-in-law's first birthday that we will experience without her will be the same day as my wedding anniversary, August 26th. And we planned it like that, right? We wanted to always have something to share together and remember her as well. So we plan to do that on her birthday to honor her and my husband's relationship with his mom and my relationship with my mother-in-law, right? So this August 26th is going to be different than any other that I've had in quite a while. And most certainly different than my husband has ever had. So if I do this 90 and 90, it will push me into 5 or 6 days. And then I can re-up for another 90 and 90, right? Because my clean date of 29 years is going to be 2 days later on the 28th. So what I'm sharing with you is that recovery has become muscle memory for me. And I know instinctively when I need to kick it into gear so that I can get through rough times that are sure to be difficult. Now, sometimes I tell people, using is an option. But once you make the choice to use, all bets are off. Because nobody knows when you're going to show back up. Nobody knows if you're going to live. Nobody knows if you're going to break out in felonies. You see what I'm saying? So I want to stay on the right side of history with this gift of recovery that God has given me. And I choose to stay in the process after over a quarter of a century. So I'm challenging you. What is it in your life that you broke away from? It's not my story, but maybe it's your story. Maybe you were just you benefited from going to church. Maybe you were on the praise team. Maybe you were a deacon in distress. Maybe maybe you served the church or that community in some kind of way. Maybe you were involved with child ministry, which was my story, right? So maybe there was something that you enjoyed doing, and because it seemed like you had been doing it so long, it became less important, but it was something that helped you to thrive. I want you to get back to doing it. I have all these alarms set on different devices going off, reminding me to do different things. I have a class to be in exactly 30 minutes. So what I want to say to you, MightyStream wants for you to look at, what did you break away from doing? And can you start moving yourself back towards that? Right? Can you keep coming back to that? Can you get back to meetings, even virtually if you can't do it in person? Is there a way for you to get back in the groove of what was causing you to thrive? And do that. Have a beautiful day. I look forward to talking to you tomorrow.